Hello again, YouTube pipe smokers. The YTPC, Southern Piper here. I've been wanting to share with you guys the way I prepare plug and cake tobacco. So I'm going to do a little demonstration, finish packing this pipe, and I'll have a smoke while I go through everything. I did want to mention off the bat, I am enjoying some John Emerald Alabama single malt whiskey. This is a lovely single malt. It's almost as close to a Scotch as you can get, without being a Scotch or from Scotland. It's got a really nice fruit forward. I get almost like maybe a little bit of pear, but it's a really good whiskey. Finish is smooth, but fantastic dram. All right, so starting off with Peterson's 3P's, and the 3P's stands for Peterson's Perfect Plug. So that's the plug of tobacco, and it is, in my experience, the most dense plug tobacco that I have found. Now, I've already prepared a lot for this bowl, but I wanted to show you how I prepare. So, the first several bowls that I smoked, I was cutting with the grain. And I saw a guy on one of the Facebook groups that I'm on who suggested going against the grain. So I've done that, and I used my beautiful Damascus steel knife and cut just kind of a thin sliver off. So I'll rub this out. And so, actually, I'm glad it turned out like this so I can show you. If you get much thicker than about a 1/16 of an inch, it is hard to rub out. So you've got to go real thin. In order for this to not be cumbersome. And I have this lovely burl wood cutting board that I picked up that I enjoy using. One of the first times I did this, I cut it entirely too thick, and it was just a beast to rub out. So that's about as much as I'm going to do for now. I'll save that for later. So, now that I've shown you that, I hate when I try to light a pipe and I exhale through my nose and blow the flame out. I wanted to read the tin description for you. This excellent plug tobacco comprises select Virginia leaf from Africa and Brazil, blended with burley leaf from Malawi. The tobaccos are lightly cased before drying and pressing, and then are heated and stored for 2 weeks before cutting. The result is a full-bodied yet fruity blend, surely to appeal the experienced pipe smoker. Now, when I smoke this, I do get a little bit of the fruitiness that they talk about. It is very subtle, but it brightens it up and makes it a very pleasant smoke. So, now I want to show you Warhorse Green. Now, my tin of Warhorse had 2 little plugs in it. And I don't know if they all come that way or if it was like the end of a production run or something, but this is less dense, far less dense than Peterson's, but it's still, if you want to break it off, you're okay. It'll break. You can still cut if you want to go across the grain. So that's Warhorse. Now, you would be hard pressed, I think, or at least in my experience, I've been hard pressed to find anything as dense as 3P's. I'm going to show you a couple of cakes to show you the difference, okay? So this is Cornell & Dill's Wintertime Reserve Snow Day. And it's a nice brownie, but it's almost like it's almost like hay. You can kind of break it apart. I took that chunk out with my fingers. I also have some Tuskegee Airmen. And it is similar. You can kind of pinch that with your fingers and then rub it out. So that kind of shows you, from a very loosely pressed cake up to a very dense plug that really takes some manipulating and time to rub out and prepare. So I hope this helps you. If you struggle with preparing plug tobaccos, or you've thought about trying it, but you didn't know really how you would prepare, or if you've opened a tin and you've said, gosh, I have no clue. Hopefully this will help you out on your pipe smoking journey, getting into plugs. But if any of you are experienced with preparing plug tobaccos, and you have a different method, or a method you might think works better, share it down in the comments with us so we can improve our skills as well. But I am going to enjoy the rest of this bowl and the rest of this dram and bid you a good evening. And until next time, happy smoking and blessings to you and your family.